In this video, I'll share with you 4 factors to consider before buying your property during the current pandemic times. Hi success seekers of the world, my name is Tarun Kailash and welcome to my channel Successify Life, where I share with you actionable tips for leading a healthy, wealthy and successful life. Before we dive deeper into the factors that impact your decision to buy property during this pandemic times, may I request you to do something that does not impact you in any way, but it does impact me in a big way. And yes, you are right. Please smash that subscribe button and click that bell icon such that the YouTube lords can shower their blessings upon me. Thank you. Stay with me till the end and I will share with you something very personal pertinent to this topic which you'll find valuable. Now, there is a lot of panic and pandemonium going around due to this pandemic, and in such situations, I can understand that how hard it can be to make a decision about buying a property, which happens to be one of the biggest investment for most of us that we make. However, on the other side, on the positive side, the interest rates are very, very low. Also, there are fewer properties coming in the market, but at the same time, there are fewer footfalls as well. Buyers are generally keeping in their home, so there is not a lot of competition in the market. Now that makes it even more harder for anyone to make up their mind, should they buy a property or should they defer it until this whole pandemic is over. But we do not know when it will be over. We almost thought it's going to be over and then the second wave came. Hopefully now it's towards the decline, but no one can forecast it. I thought of coming up with, based upon my experience, some of the things that I personally observed to help you make this crucial decision. So let's jump right into. So factor number 1, whether you are trying to buy your primary home or you are trying to invest into buying a secondary home or a third home or a rental property. If it is your primary home, my suggestion is always that go for it, buy it, because you're buying for you to live in it. It's always good to pay off your own mortgage than give the rent to someone else and help them pay their loan. The second factor to consider is the location. Since this pandemic has hit hard the metro areas or the areas which has a lot of dense population, it's always good to buy a property which is far. People from these metro areas have been moving to the far off suburbs because most of the companies are allowing their employees to work remotely. So take advantage of it, and for some of the companies they have almost declared it that the employees can work from home as long as they would want, or there can be 1 or 2 days when you might have to drive to your place of work, but then that can be managed compared to the low price or property rates that you get in the suburbs. And as an additional experience that we all got is it's always good to buy a property which is near to a hospital. If you are considering to buy an investment property, it's always good to buy it further away even from the suburbs, because now the suburbs will have their purchase price go up. So it won't be as lucrative for investment. So find far-flung areas away from the suburbs which still have lower prices, because eventually from these suburbs there will be again a migration to far-flung areas, and it's always good to be the first one to purchase the properties in those areas while the prices are still low. The third factor to consider it is having enough emergency fund to address anything that may happen. It can so happen that this situation gets worse, or you need medical help, or God forbid you may lose your job, in which case you should have enough money in the bank to sustain you for such situations. And even as an investor, what if your tenant loses their job? And in the current situation, the eviction laws are hard and you may not be able to evict them, in which case you should be able to sustain paying the mortgage, although you may not be getting the monthly rent. The other factor to consider is the time horizon which you are looking for. As a primary home buyer, of course you are going to live in it for some long time, I guess, in which case this is perfectly fine, because over a long period of time properties tend to generally do good. And if you look at the prior data, you'll find that property rates over a long period of time have always beaten the inflation or done even better than that. So that's not a problem. However, as an investor, if you're looking for a smaller time horizon, I would not recommend this time to buy a property because the market is too volatile. However, again, if you are looking for a long time horizon, then it's perfectly fine to buy a property at this time, because eventually, even if it goes low for the short term, the property prices would go back up in the long term. For example, the properties that were impacted by the recession in 2008, they are back up and they are really doing pretty well now, which kind of tells us that within about 10 years of time frame, even if a market crashes, it again comes back up. So if you are still with me, thank you. And here is the bonus personal story or tip that I wanted to share. During the beginning of the pandemic, when the stock market dipped quite a bit, I sold off a good amount of my stock to purchase on cash a duplex property. I bought this property in August, so it has been just about like 2 months. However, I do feel that there is no impact onto me. I have been getting the rental cash flow. I can't guarantee, and no one has seen the future, but so far it looks good, which kind of gives me a confidence that if you choose the right area where there is enough jobs and there are tenants that are available, I don't think that should be a problem. In fact, on the positive side, since I am getting this rental cash flow, although at times we do all think about our future and get concerned about it, this cash flow of the rental property has given me enough confidence, and it has set me prepared for any eventuality that may happen during this pandemic. So do let me know how you like the various tips that I provided in this video, and subscribe to this channel. This is a new channel. I need your support to share the word about this channel, and like the video if you really felt it was of use to you. With that, I conclude this video and wish you all the best in your health and wealth creation journey. Stay safe and stay charged.